What? Oh, we got him now saying we're live. I was listening to him and not you. We got so many people in the studio today, guys. I have no idea what's going on. He said we were live. He said we weren't. And he pointed, she pointed, they pointed. I was like, yeehaw. Anyway, how you doing? I'm Roger. Nice to meet you. We got to turn the volume down there. Chris, we got people in the studio that don't know what etiquette here. We got Chris in the studio. He's going to be talking a little bit about a golfing tournament that's coming up this week. Plus, he's going to tell us a little bit about him and his wife. They started out on a new venture, Wave Hydrations and Wellness. So we're going to get to know a little bit about that here in the second half of the show. We've got a couple people coming on. Well, not a couple. We got one be coming to us from South Florida, from Key Largo. I think some of you might remember we went down there and did a show in Key Largo. He's my big little brother, as I call him. And so he'll be coming on here in a minute. We're going to be talking a little bit about the Jaguars, the Falcons, the Dolphins. Big frenzy today going on. So we're going to be talking a lot about that. We're going to be talking about the NCAA basketball tournament and how Tennessee really got snuffed. Tennessee should have been number one overall, but they weren't. They were number two. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some of LSU's big problems. If you haven't seen the news, LSU may be losing half of their season, if not the whole season this coming year. Plus, not eligible for any post play for the next couple of years. Not only in basketball, but in football too. So that's coming up. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the Florida Gators basketball coach, Mike White, who left in the cover of darkness, just like the Indianapolis Colts did. So I'll have to find out where he went, and when we get ready to come back and talk to you about that. But for now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to let everybody know if you want to call in, we do have our call-in number. It's working. It's 229-252-2515. So you can call that number. We also have Zoom. It's set up. We're going to be using that in the next couple of weeks. And my hair looks like Zoom. What did we say that was earlier, Chris? It didn't look too good. But anyway, so that's pretty much what we're going to talk about today. Also, you can see coming up on the screen, you're going to see a QR code, or as I call it, a Scantron. That's what us old folks say. There's going to be a Scantron. If you want to scan that, it'll take you right to our Facebook and website. And you can go to anywhere you want to go from there as far as us, as far as on YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, any of those places, it'll be there. So right there on our Facebook. All you got to do is take your phone, lift it up there, put it in camera mode, and don't have to do anything but touch it with your finger, and it'll automatically go to our website. So with that being said, we got a couple new features coming up too. We've got, you'll see, as of you see right there, YouTube scrolling across the bottom. We'll have a couple little things popping in and out like that right there says Facebook. So we're going to have a lot of those things coming on here. So if it distracts you, please let me know, and I'll make sure I leave it there. Anything else I need to talk about, Chris? What you think, man? Your fingers aren't working. You don't know where. No. You don't know which one to push over there, do you?
I'm not sure which button to press half the time, so I just press them all until I get something good.
There you go. That's it. That's exactly. That's what she said. Yeah. We're gonna follow on from our show from last week from the Georgia Beer Company. That's what she said. That Georgia Beer. They also, don't let me forget, they have what was it, Chris? They're Irish. They're some kind of doing some of their St. Patty's Day. They're doing some beer or something over there. I think they said on Thursday. I think it was.
Yeah, on St. Patrick's Day. That's right.
Yeah, and it's and they're also doing some kind of festival right over here at the old Bank of America downtown Valdosta. So come down and see all those folks that are going to be down here. And you know, we're right across the street. You can't get into the studio because we're in the locked studio. So if we see you out and about, we'll say something. If you see the truck, again, use that Scantron. Hey, it's over my head this time.
Yeah.
Use that Scantron right up there. Ooh, wrong way. Right up. Right somewhere. No, this way. There you go. I'm touching it. Yay. There we go. So you got any good news this week, Chris?
Nothing but good news.
All right. What's the good news?
I don't know.
You don't have.
I haven't lost my mind yet.
And you know, a lot of people would say that's good because around me they lose their mind all the time. Ask this, Chris. We got Hotch. And then we have Chris. We got two Chris's in the room, so Guys, I'm going to have it completely backwards by the time we get out of the show today. I got some decent news. We're actually going to Vermont for 13 weeks. We're going to be doing a show on the road, kind of. I'll be on the road. Chris will be here. We're going to do the show that way, and we're going to do some Zoom call-in, so we'll still be able to have people call in. I'll just be picking it up through Zoom. We got some guest hosts that are going to come in and guest host. So it's 13 weeks. But first, I'm going to Scotland. So just so you guys know, I will call in from Scotland the week that I'm gone. I'm not going to stay long because unless you're going to pay the bill on that, I'm gonna pass on that. So. And if you need anything, call Mr. Paul Hotchkiss. He'll be able to hook you up. It's E-Travel. He's sleeping? Are you sleeping, Paul? He looked like he was sleeping, wasn't he? Look at it. He's sleeping. Yeah, he was. Well, was it E-Travel Anytime, right? I got it right. E-Travel Anytime. The first time I got it right. Now, you're never getting that again if you fall asleep. He's like, what time did you get up this morning? You got a call. I heard you got a phone call from somebody this morning.
I was on my way to work then.
You was on your way here, and you got a call. What time was that?
7:30.
7:30? I think my boy over here, Chris, called him because we had our team shirts, and he had to pick him up. So I think he woke him up. He was sleep driving. Or his wife was driving, and he was sleeping. I don't know which one. So anyway, all right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and get on to, we have, I think Sid on the phone.
He is.
Can you bring him up? Where'd we go? We're completely off the screen now.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Oh, wait, what? Yeah, hold on.
I'm holding. I can't be holding on to anything else. Anything more. Oh, Chris has gone zoomed. He's done messed us up.
Hold on a second.
That's okay. So if you guys have any, they're watching you. Look, see, if you look up in your top left-hand corner of your screen there, that's Chris. Now he's finally figured out. If you look in the screen, you can see on the other screen, Sid's on the other screen over there, and he's going to move that screen over to our side. Watch this. In just a second.
And there we go.
Oh wait, no, stop. Look at the bottom screen, Chris.
What?
We're out whacked there. Look at our.
Man.
So get us off of that screen and get you on that screen.
Here, look at me for a minute. Just look at me.
Look at Chris for a minute.
I've got so many things going on.
I see that, but see, you're compensated very well for that, right?
Right.
Yeah. Anybody believes that, they don't know me very well. But anyway, a company car is pretty good, though. I have to give you that. But you guys did see that Sid was right there. He was right at the edge. He was almost in with us, but, like most.
And
just had a part. Look, there he is. What's going on? Unmute him.
He's unmuted.
He's not on the screen. I can't hear him.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we got you. There you are. Look at that.
All right.
Oh, he wasn't talking. He's a man of few words. What's going on down there in Key Largo, man?
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. A man of few words. So, I don't know what. All I know is let's go. He said I had to follow my little script thing here. So we're going to talk. What we're going to do is I think you got a copy of the sheet. But we're going to talk a little bit about the Falcons, a little bit about the Jaguars, and then your Dolphins are making a big splash. No pun intended. That was a good one. You didn't even catch it. Come on, man. That was a good one. You know it was. Anyway, and so let's kind of get onto it right now. So let's look at this. The Falcons. Big news, everybody. The Falcons signed their kicker. That's exactly what everybody said. They heard nothing exactly. That was headline news. They had it all over the website. It was his. They got this big picture of this kicker, and they signed his kicker for 4 years. But
who's the kicker?
It is Young Ho Koo.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
Young Ho Koo. They extended him for 4 years. So the big thing, I guess, right now, before they put Young Ho Koo's picture up on the actual screen there, I think they, if I'm not mistaken, they are in the big news for Atlanta is, and I tried to say this to people last year during football season, is I think that their quarterback is on his way out. They are negotiating, and they're also in there with Carolina. Now, I haven't seen the news within the last hour, so you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. But Deshaun Watson is a possibility of going to Atlanta. Now, is that telling Matt Ryan a lot right there, or what? What would you say?
Well, I think it's a good idea for them to pick up Deshaun Watson. Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. I know you had a post on here that just loved him and thought he was a Hall of Fame quarterback. I don't think he's quite there. But Deshaun Watson would increase the value of the Atlanta Falcons tenfold if he went there.
I completely agree. But now that all of his what do you call it? All of his, I don't want to say his legal troubles are over. I guess his civil troubles aren't over, but his legal troubles.
Well, the legal troubles are civil and criminal. The criminal ones are over. They said they're not going to be charging him with anything. He just has the baggage of the civil cases. And that's something that he's going to have to reach deep inside and decide if he wants to resolve those or just let them continue to linger, which could hurt his status in the NFL.
Well, I mean, not to get off topic too much, but that's what I was hearing today. Now, not changing gears, but kind of staying in that same realm of Colin Kaepernick and Deshaun Watson. Totally two different incidents. But as far as being shunned by the NFL the way that Watson has and the way that Colin has. Now, Colin is evidently working out in Seattle. And they're saying there's a possibility. They almost signed him 2 years ago, but he went out with an injury, and there was an undisclosed injury. But he's been performing for them, and they said that there's an 80% possibility that he's going to come back. I
disagree.
Seattle.
I disagree with your correlation between the two. I think they're night and day. They're apples and oranges, if you will. Colin Kaepernick was a mediocre quarterback at best at the prime of his career. And he was washed up when they decided to move on from him in San Francisco. Deshaun Watson is what's the word I'm looking for? He's a game changer for any team that he goes to. He was a great player, and without him, the Texans, what did they end up being? Absolutely nothing without Deshaun Watson. So I think they're apples and oranges. I don't think they're compared to each other. I don't think the NFL shunned him. I think all of his legal woes shunned everything from him, not because of anything he said or did. I just think that they're two different things. Deshaun Watson, if he can resolve all of his civil issues, he'd be back and he'd be still the top tier in the NFL.
Well, they're saying though, what they're saying, that's why we all have different opinions, but they're saying that Deshaun could still be punished, even though there was no criminal charges brought against him. He still could be punished with up to about 6 games being lost in the NFL.
Well, keep in mind, you can be punished in different ways. What am I looking for? He may not be held criminally liable for anything that has happened if anything was wrong, but he could still be held civilly liable. And nobody wants that on their franchise, because think of the baggage that comes with that. You're going to have protests outside the stadium. You're going to have fans that are protesting if any of this stuff comes out to be true. So you got to be real careful with it. So they're wanting to resolve all those issues before he gets to a team. And I understand that, because if you're an owner of an NFL team, you've got billions of dollars tied up and millions of dollars in advertising and money that you're bringing in. So you want to be careful with it.
Yeah, if you're everybody except for the Jaguars, because that's what kind of a segue in there, because
before you segue, give me what you think about Ridley.
About who?
Ridley, the receiver.
Calvin. Well, you know what? This goes to the Pete Rose adage. Okay, I'm gonna kind of. It falls along those lines for me. He bet on Atlanta 3 times, and he bet on them to win 3 times while they were playing. Now, he wasn't playing the game; he was out, if I'm not mistaken. But he still, as an NFL player, bet on an NFL team that he was with. So, I don't know. I'm gonna have to punishment. Yes. Banned? No. If that's what you're asking, because I'm going to take this on the same lines as the Pete Rose. Hold on 1 second, sit there. Can you change those screens and go to that other screen over there? Because I look like a midget in that one, and this other one, it looks kind of more professional there, bud.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Hey, look, everybody, I'm actually here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
I had to
That's okay.
redo that after.
That's all right. That's all right. So yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I'm not. You haven't told me where you're coming from yet, but that's where I come. I'm really looking at this as a Pete Rose issue, and those of us that are that old enough to know Pete Rose and watch him play, I'm kind of seeing a correlation now. Is the NFL going to handle it like baseball league has the MLB? I don't know. But you asked my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't think it should be a complete ban. Should he be suspended for a year? Yeah, I'll go with that because everybody knows you're not supposed to bet on your own team. Go ahead.
Well, I agree and disagree with you. Yes, I think that he should be suspended for a year. He needs to be taught that that's not right to do. And you're setting an example for everyone else on the team. And just because he wasn't playing doesn't mean he doesn't have influence with the players that he's playing with. If he's got $100,000 or $1 million on the game, you don't think he's going to go to a receiver and say, hey, drop this and I'll give you half or something. It's just, there's too much chance of impropriety. So I see where he needs to be suspended for a year and needs to be taught a lesson that you don't gamble on the team, on the sport that you're playing. Pete Rose, I think he should have been allowed into the Hall of Fame. I think what he was done was railroaded only because he had some real enemies at the time. So I don't know. I understand.
There, I think we pretty much do. I think we pretty much agreed on that one. I don't think there was a disagreement. We kind of, I mean, the Pete Rose issue, we agreed on that one, and the Calvin really, it's just, I don't know. I can understand punish a man, but you know what? A man has to pay for his time and his crime or whatever he does, and it just all depends on the policies, as Tracy is saying, that it depends on the policies and how far Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback than Colin Kaepernick now. But Kaepernick's prime, he was a better yada, Tracy.
No, I disagree with that totally.
Huh?
I disagree with that totally. Colin Kaepernick wasn't half the quarterback of Deshaun Watson.
Well, and you know what?
Ever.
And I don't think he was either. I think Pete. So she's hopping around here, but I don't think that Deshaun Watson was ever the quarterback that Colin Kaepernick was, because I think he was totally a better quarterback. I think Colin Kaepernick was in his heyday. He was. I think you and I talked about this before. I think what happened was a lot of this came out when Colin Kaepernick was on his downhill, and that was his way to get back into the NFL and to get his stock brought up. Do I agree with what happened and all that? We're not even going to get into that because to me that's political. But as far as all that other stuff, I don't know. I look at the fact that Deshaun Watson, to me, and is completely an all around better quarterback than Kaepernick was at the time. Tracy says, yes. I didn't say he was I said he was
top tier.
He was top tiered. Okay. Well,
no, I think he was midstream at best. I don't think he was near the top tier of quarterbacks in the NFL. Not at all.
I don't know. See, he didn't. See, I'm going to be Switzerland here, and I'm going to take the road we didn't get to see it finish out. And where he was at, you really can't make an explanation because he was only in his third year.
I disagree with you. I think we did see him finish out. He was on the decline. He was on his downswing, and he wasn't that good. He was replaced.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think we saw the rest of what he could do if he was traded or couldn't do. So
I think we've seen his best, and his best wasn't good enough.
And you know what? That's why everybody has an opinion. And so I don't know how I segued off to that, but anyway, yeah. As far as Watson, so as far as the Falcons, they put a tenure on their wide receiver because they're not going to have one as far as Ridley goes. So that was a good segue into that one. So let's look at the Jaguars. They picked up a guard from Washington. They picked up a linebacker who has what Jacksonville's been looking to do, and is to make it solid and have somebody be their defensive quarterback and call defense. And they picked up a linebacker from Yale. He's been in the league for 3 years now, or 4 years. He made the Pro Bowl. So I think that was a good pickup. They picked up a defensive tackle, so that way people can't complain when we don't take the great defensive ends. A wide receiver, we picked a great wide receiver. We also picked up a tight end, and we picked up another mediocre receiver. So I think Jacksonville is spending money right now. But they did let go of Miles Jacks. I don't know if anybody heard about that, but Miles Jacks is on the outs with Jacksonville. Literally, he's gone. They let him go. So
do you think focusing more on the defense is the right thing to do with Jacksonville? I think focusing on their offensive line, and they should have spent a majority of their money on their offensive line, because you want to protect your quarterback. You want to be able to block for your running back, which is coming back this next year. And you've got great receivers in Jacksonville. So I think what you needed to focus on more so was the offensive line, and the defense was okay. And you could just fill a lot of those holes with maybe a couple of – do what?
No, we don't. We don't have any receivers. They let Chark go. Chark's out of here. So now we've picked up some receivers. We've never had great receivers in Jacksonville. There's not a tier 1 receiver in Jacksonville until we signed the 2 that we signed today. Now,
I thought you had that one that was injured that was coming back this year.
We've got one that's injured, but I don't know that he's coming back. Maybe somebody can enlighten me on which one that one is. I forget. But I know that Chark has been let go. And that was our number 1 receiver. So then you turn around and we picked up a guard. We just re-signed 3. I think 2 weeks ago we signed. Tracy's saying the same thing. Chark was injured, and we still didn't have any receivers. So the thing was at this point right now, we picked up a guard. We signed both of our tackles are coming back from last year. Is that great? I don't know. Let's look at the defense we had. But we did pick up a big guard. He's a nasty guard out of Washington. The question is going to be, everybody thinks we should go after that tackle. We've got 2 tackles. I just don't know. I'm not sure that we should go after a tackle. Do we pick up I'm going to tell you, my pick is going to be your boy from, not your boy, but the guy from Georgia, the defensive lineman that ran a 4.78. Why would you not pick him? His speed is already ready for the NFL. So
you're saying pick him first?
That's who I would. That's probably who I would take. I wouldn't take in the end. Well, we just picked up an outside linebacker. We've already got another outside linebacker. We've now picked up somebody on the interior as linebacker. So we got to shore up that defensive line. We've got two tackles. We just signed a tight end. We also reassured another tight end that we have. So we're going to have 2 tight ends. We just picked up a guard. We already have a center. So all we're really needing is another guard. Do you bring this other guy in who's played tackle in college in Alabama that everybody says bring in? I just don't think that's the thing for Jacksonville to do. It's going to be the next couple of weeks. It's going to be really interesting to see how Jacksonville does, and especially if they're going to sign any more of these other Pro Bowlers, because this guy from Washington that they're picking up is a Pro Bowler. So they're adding to their team, but is it in the right places? They got the quarterback, they've got the running backs, they've got they let Carlos Hyde. Was it Carlos Hyde? I think they let go this week. So they're letting go of folks. Miles Jacks, I just don't know, and some other people agree that Miles Jacks is probably a bad release. I don't know why. There has to be something there, but let's talk about Miami. Okay. Because I don't see you got the scoop. You're down in Miami. You're down not in Miami. You're in Key Largo, so you're down in that area. Plus, you tend to watch more of the Miami games than I do because I'm up here with Jacksonville. So, from what I understand, Miami's coming through, and they're actually picking up a couple receivers.
Right. Listen, I haven't really been up on the Dolphins draft or the free agency, so I'm not too familiar with it. But we can use another receiver or 2 receivers, but we need to focus on some offensive line also. and we also need some backup safeties and cornerbacks.
Yeah,
That's where we're lacking.
Well, let me ask you this: you guys also got a backup quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. You got
Right.
Tannehill. That's not Tannehill. What am I thinking? What's his name? Hold on. It's going to come to me. We just talked about this earlier today. What's the guy's name? Starts with a B.
You tell me.
I don't know.
Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater.
That's it. Tony, that's it. Yeah. So you guys signed Bridgewater, and it is. You know what? If you're not going to move away from Tua, I guess that's the best thing to have in your corner.
No, I think they need to move away from Tua. I know we have a new coach coming in, and they're going to try it again and see if he does any better. Maybe if they get some offensive line that can block for him, maybe he'll work out. I thought it was a bad choice when they drafted him. I wish they didn't, but they did. Let's make the best out of it. I just don't think he's going to have what it takes. I hope I'm wrong. I just don't think he has what it takes to be an NFL quarterback or a good NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
So picking up Teddy Bridgewater is a positive. It's not a bad thing. I think we need to focus on picking up a number one draft quarterback.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think Tua gets hurt too much. Number one. I don't think he can see it. A bunch of his passes got knocked down this past year. I don't see his passes getting over. A
bunch of his passes skipped to the receiver. I mean, he was throwing them short.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. You guys are picking up some receiver. I agree with you on your offensive line. I think I thought your defense was pretty decent last year.
Defense was good, but our corners occasionally got burnt. And that's something that we really need to focus on, in my opinion. I think the ends were good. Agba, we just re-signed him, I believe, paid him a hefty amount of money. But we'll see.
Well, and it's going to be interesting. Is all this is just day one of the your first day you're able to sign. So with all that happening, you're pretty much getting in there. So let's move on to some basketball. Chris.
Yeah, man.
We're moving on to some basketball.
Oh.
There you go. We've got your NCAA frenzy. What's going on? Wait, did you cut him off over there?
No.
He's not on the screen?
Yeah. Okay. He's still here.
Oh, he's still there, guys. Okay.
I'm still here.
Just got to change scenes in order to show up.
Oh, is that it? Let's see. Okay. Well,
I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, so what we wanted to talk about first was the what did I want to talk about first? I went straight.
Well, we're going to talk about the tournament. We have 4 games scheduled for today. It started at 6:30, so they should have just started. And of course, they're usually the lower tier teams that are playing in the first day. But it really starts today.
Let me ask you this. Yeah, that's the tournament. But let me ask you this, okay? You've watched the games just like I have. So the question I have for you is, Tennessee got spotted at number 2. Go ahead.
I'm listening.
Tennessee. No, hold on a minute. He's trying to do a transition. There we go. So Tennessee got spotted at number 2, and some of the big things coming out right now are that Tennessee didn't deserve to be in number 2. They should have been in a number 1 overall. We're going to go into back to Squid there, if you don't mind.
Or Sid, whichever one you prefer.
Yeah, I just call him everything under the sun. I've been with him for all my life. Anyway, so Sid, tell me what your thought is about Tennessee being put at a number 2 seed.
Well, Tennessee had some bad losses this year. I think being a number 2 is good for them. I know some people wanted to be number 1 because they won the SEC and they think they should have been higher. I think number 2 is a good spot. A little less focus on you as a number 2 seed instead of a number 1 seed. I think it's a good spot for them.
Well, and you know what? I kind of agree with you, but I also think that they may have got shafted.
They're actually number 3 seed.
Who, Tennessee?
Yes.
Hold on a minute. Let me pull out my tourney schedule here. I could have swore they were seated at number 2. There's a lot of dead noise here because
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the bracket. Tennessee, they're playing Longwood on Thursday at 2:45.
Then
and
they
they're a three
definitely
seed.
then they definitely don't need to be.
Again, I don't think it's bad. I think there's too much weight put on it. One of the things I like about the college football this year, or college basketball this year, is the parity. Everybody can step up and win. Look what Texas A&M did in the SEC tournament. They come and wiped out what was Auburn ranked, like 2 or 3? They came and beat them.
Yeah.
And then they beat Arkansas, which was ranked like 14th or something. Tennessee did beat Kentucky, and then
they beat Kentucky twice now. 2 out of 3 times they beat Kentucky. They beat Kentucky handedly.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought it was they were number 2 seed, but I just looked up. You're right. They were number 3 seed. And
I'm usually right.
I would say say that one more time. You haven't heard it enough. So they were a number 3 seed. So I don't know. I think they just got pretty much screwed on this whole thing on when it comes to the number 3 seed.
I don't think so. I think they're good enough to beat a lot of the teams. I mean, they're playing the equal side of the bracket on the negative side, if you know what I mean. One plays 16, 2 plays 15. They're playing 14. So they got a pretty good draw with that. I'm not disappointed in it. I'm obviously an SEC fan, and I want them all to win, and I want them to win the tournament and everything else. But I think it's a good seed. I'm surprised that Texas A&M was only a 16. That kind of surprised me how they played so well at the end of the year, and they won like 8 or 9 straight, and they were beating all of the top teams in the country, not just the SEC.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of look at it as the point to where Tennessee now, I think they're sitting good because they can push through now because they're going to play some of these teams that maybe they shouldn't have been playing, and so they're going to have to play extra games. So I think it's going to take them a couple more games to win to get to the finals. But do I think Tennessee can do it? Of course, I really do.
I don't know.
But
I think we're going to have a surprise winner this year.
Shelby just said, "Oh Lord, it's the brothers," and then she says, "I heard SEC, go Gators."
I heard that
because
she gets it. She gets it. She gets it.
Of course she did. She is actually a student now at University of Florida. She's doing her master's program for the University of Florida. So yes, she could. Yeah, because she couldn't get into the best school ever, which would be University of Florida. Anyway, shut up, Chris. We got people on the backside here that don't even. They can't. They can't.
On the backside.
Yeah, it's on the backside. You gotta see Chris's backside right now. Anyway, all right. So we hey, look, we're gonna have the whole family on here in a minute. Hey, Chad, how you doing, buddy? We're on the air. I'm talking with your uncle in Key Largo.
Good, how are you?
Good. We're talking about SEC basketball. I'm sure you got a lot to throw in here.
I got so much to say. You don't got time for that.
Okay, I don't. And if you don't have anything to say, I got to go because I'm on the air.
All right, love you, bye.
Love you, bye. All right. So, all right. Let's throw up LSU real quick. So, what are your thoughts? Now, let me just lay it out for you. So, LSU, their football program is being sued on a Title IX under a Title IX scandal because of they didn't tell. All the coaches are saying all the coaches knew, the head coach knew, the athletic director knew, some of the teachers knew, but the French, I guess it's the French ambassador or whatever it is to the University of LSU, finally is the one who ratted everything out, and evidently there's some rape charges or something going on. And then,
well, LSU has been under federal investigation for the mishandling of a sexual misconduct of their teams. That's been going on for a while, but now they've got some violations. What do they call basketball and football? They have some class 1 or whatever they call it violations.
Class 1, 5 class 1 violations.
Right.
So you're looking at the basketball team and you're looking at the football team. The basketball team, the violations are the basketball team. The basketball coach is caught on tape saying that he is basically paying to have players and have their family members come to LSU and giving them jobs and everything so their players will come to LSU.
Well, listen, That's been going on for years at most of the major universities. I don't know why they're dumb enough to just come out and admit it, especially with the what's the NFT, or what is that called now? The name, likeness.
Yeah, the name and likeness. Yeah.
Yeah. With the money that the money you can get from that, why you would have to pay the families and players, I think is ridiculous.
Well,
this is why I'm not a fan. I know, but this is why I'm not a fan of it. There's too much impropriety that could go on with paying the players or allowing other people to pay the players or get under contract. Their payment should be their college education. Now, what they're telling me is that college education isn't worth anything. So that's why they want to pay the college kids now instead of just giving them the
well, why you guys take this in a complete different direction, dude?
I don't know. I'm so passionate about it, and I'm so disappointed in it because there's no way these colleges could pay all of the athletes in the school. They're only paying the top tier athletes of a few programs, and not all of them.
College now, it's not the college. They're getting endorsements from the endorsers, not from the college themselves.
I know, and I think it's wrong.
So,
but you're right. I went way off, and I went off on my own tangent because I know that I'm very passionate about this, and it really irks me that the name and likeness that they're able to get paid for it.
Right, and you know what? We've had this conversation 1,000 times. I don't have a problem with it. I think that, you know what, they were fining kids for signing their signature. Look at Ty Gurley with the University of Georgia. He had to sit out for 2 games because he was signing helmets. He only signed 1 helmet and got $100, and he had to sit out for 2 games on it. So, you know what? I think it's there. Could they find something in the middle? Maybe. I completely agree, but you know. The question, I guess, would be, what do you think? Now, they're saying that LSU basketball team will probably not be able to get in any tournaments for at least another couple years. And they think the football team itself is probably going to be that way. Now they're trying to they're in the middle of hiring a basketball coach. So who in their right mind is going to go to a team that you're not going to have any postseason play whatsoever unless you're a coach that is just going to get them through it and you're just going to be going through the motions?
Well, listen, they may not get off so easy. They may get the death penalty. They may do away with the program or both programs for a year or 2. They could definitely lose a tremendous amount of scholarships.
Right. And
who's going to want to go there knowing that they're not going to be able to compete with the best because they're going to be shorthanded? And I can see a mass. I can see a mass exodus of all the great players because now you can do transfers all the time, which again is ridiculous.
In the portal.
Yep. So I don't know. I think this is going to be bad for LSU. Their basketball and football programs. Hopefully, those are the only 2 programs that have been involved with this. Hopefully, it's not any of the other athletics.
Well, usually, if you got an apple inside, it starts souring. It's pretty much into some of the other apples that you have around. So, I mean,
we shall see.
All right, next one there, Chris. All right, so this is the last one before we take a break. Under the cover of darkness, like Indianapolis Colts, Billy Donovan, Mike White decides over the weekend he leaves the tournament, the SEC tournament, that he was being yelled and screamed and people were saying, fire Mike, fire Mike, fire Mike. There was a chant in the stands. He leaves there on a Friday afternoon and becomes the Georgia Bulldogs coach that afternoon.
I have no problem with how that happened.
The next afternoon. But he wasn't, you and I had talked about it, and you had called it, they were actually going to let him go. You had called that a long time ago. So the question is, we knew that this was going to happen. Do you think that Mike already had this completely planned out? I mean, I'm sure he did. And they're saying now, I was listening to Feinbaum yesterday, who was saying that he was down there. He talked to the AD, and he said that they weren't going to let him go. He was going to be on a short string, but he said they weren't going to let him go. So the question is, did he do the right thing before getting fired, or you think he jumped the gun?
No, I think it was good timing on his part. Listen, if you're in a job that you're not happy with or things aren't going well, there's nothing wrong with you looking for another job. I don't have a problem with that. And I think that maybe he's seen the writing on the wall coming. Listen, Mike White has been a good coach. He could never match what Billy Donovan did at Florida. And unfortunately, he was the next in line. So you had to have great expectations for somebody, and he just didn't come with those expectations. And I think it's a good move to move on from.
Well, okay, and I understand that. So let me ask you this: Do you think Georgia or Florida is? Wait, no. Let me completely change that altogether, because this is going to be our final segment, and then we're going to move on because we've got to get to Chris and Wave hydrations and health. So, do you think that maybe he had the team? He had some of the best players in the NCAA. And I think you and I've talked about it. That's why I'm asking. What do you think about being able to hype up the kids or get the kids to where they needed to play?
I think there was a lack of motivation on Mike White's part. The inability to motivate the kids to get out there and play at a high level every day. He didn't have it, whatever that is. Maybe he'll find it at the next school, which is Georgia. And I don't know that he had the best players in the NCAA. I think he had some really, really good top quality players, and he brought the best out of some of them, but it wasn't on a consistent basis every night. And sometimes they would come out and they would have lackluster performances, and you can't have that. You have to be able to motivate these kids to come out and play their hardest every night they come out on the court, and they've got to give you 40 minutes of their life, blood, sweat, and tears on that court. And he wasn't able to do that. He wasn't able to motivate for whatever reason. I
know we stay on the phone sometimes and we talk back and forth while they're playing, and I think you're right. Some of those games that we were watching, you could see them. When they come back from the half, they're like, okay, they're ready to roll, but then it just immediately within 2-3 minutes it was gone. But in some games they actually looked like they were playing at a total different level. And you know what? I did not agree with you back then because I don't think that I could see it all the way through, but I'll agree with you now. I guess because now he's left, but.
Well, and also it's because you realize I'm always right.
I realize that you're so young, and I have to let you feel that you're right because I want yourself. See, I'm doing my self motivation. I'm making you feel better about yourself, thinking you're right. So yeah, I have to do that once in a while. So anyway, dude. All right, Chris, you got. Go ahead.
You're gonna leave me on here so I can hear. You can take my picture off, but I'd like to stay on and listen in, and maybe throw some words out every now and again. If I maybe say something to Chris or whatever.
Now, that's fine. If you want to do that, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I'll stay on, just listen to the chatter because I'm sure this is fixing to go way away from sports. So.
No, it's not. Well, it's going to a golf tournament, and you don't know nothing about no golf tournaments. We love your ear, though. That's pretty nice of your ear.
Well, I'm giving you my best angle.
All right, Chris, let's go ahead. Let's do a commercial. And hey, Chris, you got any other questions you want to ask him? Anything you wanted to ask? You were the last one down there. You went down there and saw him and ate all his food and left under the cover of darkness like, Mike White. But no, that wasn't you. I was thinking about somebody else.
Not me.
That wasn't you. You were still there. You went fishing the next day.
I sure did.
Anything you want to ask him?
Not at the moment. I don't have any sports related questions. So.
Do you have any questions at all?
How's it fishing?
Not really.
He don't fish. That's he don't have time to fish. Yeah, he fishes. He just don't have time to fish. All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna take a commercial break. We're gonna come back with Chris and Wave Hydrations and Wellness, and then we're also gonna talk about the golf tournament that is going to be happening this weekend. It is, what's the name of it again?
The 5th annual Joshua Dykes Memorial Golf Tournament.
The 5th annual Joshua Dykes Memorial Golf Tournament. And if you want me to say that again, somebody needs to write that down because I am not going to remember. We'll be back to you right after this.
Need a website for your business? Let Shadowfox Design help. We will design and build your website so you have more time for your business. We will help with all your online needs so you have more time for your customers. Learn more and get started now by going to www.shadowfox.design. Research less and relax more with eTravel Anytime. Let us help you decide which Sandals destination is best for your romantic getaway, or help you choose the family resort that is best for your vacation. We can also help you decide which cruise is best for you and your family. Tell us your preferences and we can narrow down your choices. Contact us today so we can help you plan your next vacation. Call 229-300-3691.
What's up? Did you unmute us this time?
I did. I got
All
it
right.
this time.
Is Sid still there too?
No, he took off. I guess he's still watching. Or
He's still
listening.
watching or something, I guess.
Yeah.
So hey everybody, we're back. Now we got the major sporting events out of the way, and golf and some sporting events. I know that Tiger Woods just retired because he put in the Hall of Fame, so now he can't go back, because once you're in the Hall of Fame, you can't play no more tourneys. That's what they said. It can only go to the seniors now. So anyway, for those of you who don't know, this is Chris Stevic. How do you say it? Stevic. This is Chris Stevic, and Chris is here, well, because I've known Chris, 30 some odd years. So anyway, Chris is the commander on the road over in Brooks County. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And he is an avid golfer. He knows nothing.
I don't know about avid.
Well, do you know anything about any other sports? No. See, that's why he sat on the couch while we did
I
everything
can
else.
watch all kinds of sports.
He can watch it. He can root for it. He calls
can't
me and
play
said,
it.
"What about them Seminoles?" And I said, "Yeah, them criminals are doing really well."
Job security. Bro.
That's it. Well, that's so true. It wasn't for the coach this year. But anyway, so Chris is here. He's going to tell us a little bit about a golf tournament. Him and I played a little bit of golf together, and we've had a lot of courses here in the Southeast. You played pretty much all of them. Yeah.
There's still a few that I would love to play, but
Well, we're going to go down to the PGA down there at, what is that, just south of Jacksonville? What is that one? TPC Sawgrass. You ain't played it yet?
no.
I'll get you hooked up then.
Okay.
I gave you tickets to that one year, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Oh, that's what I thought. So see, I'd have to see. I know folks, they don't still know me. But he has his beautiful wife, Jennifer, and him and Jennifer started a project that we're also going to talk about.
I did not start this project. Jennifer and some of her coworkers started this project.
And what? So if it's he so just wanted to bluntly interrupt me. Go ahead. What is this project?
Well, the project it's mobile hydration. It's called Wave Hydration and Wellness. My wife and a couple of her coworkers started this business, and they'll come to you if you need IV fluids or anything like that.
So they do. So this is pretty much what. For example, this is the only way I can think of it. If somebody that's running a marathon or somebody that's playing a football game or basketball game, and anybody that does this, and from what I understand, if you need them, they'll come to you at that sporting event or whatever.
Absolutely.
You take and you can fill them with fluids. I'm not talking about, they're not going to put cocaine in your system, but they're going to put, what are they just
the regular, like the saline, whatever they give you for dehydration, you get dehydrated, they put this stuff on there.
Okay.
They do an IV.
so
It's good for sporting events. They haven't done any of those, but they're looking into maybe going to a marathon, Florida. They would love to go to Chicago or the Boston Marathon or the mini marathons.
you know what I was just thinking?
Going to the mini marathons and setting up the hydration station for people that whenever they get through with it,
They just come over and
they can get
well,
hydrated.
what we should do is we should get together and just kind of call those places and say, "Hey, you're doing this marathon. We've got this."
Jennifer's already
Anyway.
on that.
See, she didn't call. I got connections. Somebody can call me. But anyway, so let me ask you this. So, when you get the hydration and, for example, a lot of people. I'm just not going to say. On our show last week, we had the Georgia Beer Company.
Right.
All right, and there was some partaking in some alcohol. They weren't. I'm not saying they were drinking. They were drunk or anything like that. But let's just say, for example, they thought at that particular time, just hypothetically, they thought that they had too much to drink.
Right.
Could something like this, because I hear that getting hydrated will actually...
If you are hungover from
Right.
a little bit too much to drink,
Okay.
yes, the fluids that Wave Hydration and Wellness can give you will make you feel better.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
So, but like say like Sturgis or Daytona, the bike shows,
Absolutely.
because
As a
they...
matter of fact, we've got one set up end of April, 1st of May. They're going to Thunder Beach in Panama City. And
Okay.
it's a bike rally.
Oh, okay.
Kid Rock's going to be there. And
So you're gonna hydrate Kid Rock? I want to be there. I want to be there.
That I
I
don't know. I don't
So,
know.
is she gonna charge Kid Rock to give him some fluid?
Double.
Double.
No,
Listen to you.
She won't charge him double. But you know that's what it's there for. It's for them to feel better.
Right. Right.
I think it's a great idea, and it's any sport, whether it's basketball or baseball or football or whatever. A golfing tournament where some of these guys like to have a little bit,
Or they can just get overheated out there too.
or they can get overheated,
Yeah.
especially here in South Georgia.
And if you don't drink water, which I don't drink, so
Right. But yeah, they can help out. Speaking of the golf, the
oh well,
tournament-
he just gonna take over. I'm just gonna walk over and sit down. He just transitioned right into
this
the
is
golf.
actually the tournament that we were playing in, and again, thanks to Armchair Sports
Mm-hmm.
for sponsoring, along with Wave Hydration and Wellness, the team that I'm playing on, and you know, it just happened that way.
Whoa! I
But
wonder how that works.
I do appreciate Armchair Sports co-sponsoring with Wave Hydration, and what they're sponsoring is the golf cart sponsorship, and they get a team, a foursome. They get their names on a sign that is placed on a hole. They get
Whose
their
hole?
names. I don't know which hole.
I said whose?
That
Anyway,
Kinderloo
Forest Golf Club. Okay, I got it.
you get your name on all of the golf carts according to this, and you get your name on the T-shirts.
Oh, okay.
So
I want a T-shirt. Can I get a T-shirt?
I will give you the one that they're going to give me.
No, I don't want yours. I want them to give me one.
You only get 4 T-shirts, so that's.
Well, dadgummit.
So
I'm coming out there to get a T-shirt.
I don't care.
You don't care. He doesn't care. Look, he's trying to promote himself over here.
The tournament is for Joshua Dykes, who is a 1999 graduate of Lowndes High School. He also had a bachelor's degree from Valdosta State University, and he died in 2010 in a automobile accident. And his brother, along with Delta Chi out at VSU, has put on this golf tournament in his honor. And this is the 5th annual one, and I've played in it. This will be the second time that I played in the tournament. I played in it a couple of years ago. Last year I didn't get to play because I was working, and then of course this year I get to play in it. And I'm looking forward to it.
So, okay, what is the Jimmy V Foundation?
The Jimmy V Foundation, all the proceeds, by the way, thanks for that segue. All the proceeds.
That's what I do, man. You're not supposed to take my thunder.
I know. Sorry about that. All the proceeds for this tournament, they go to the Joshua Dykes Memorial Fund, as well as the Jimmy V Foundation. And the V Foundation is a charitable organization dedicated to saving lives by helping to find a cure for cancer, which I appreciate because my wife works in the cancer center here at South Georgia Medical Center.
I appreciate it. There's a reason for that.
Yeah. They also, some of the proceeds they go to the Miracle League of Valdosta, which serves children and adults who suffer from any physical or mental disability. So it comes to this area.
So it doesn't go out to, for example, to Atlanta or Tallahassee or Thomasville or something like that.
Here locally, here in the city of Valdosta, which is great.
Okay,
I
good.
think that's wonderful.
Yeah, for sure. So who do they divide that up, or is it a certain portion goes to this one and a certain portion goes to that one?
That I don't know.
Okay. So if you've got any more information that you want to know, or if you wanted the golf tournament, but if you want to know any more information about the Jimmy V Foundation, you can call the Memorial Tournament out at, where's it being played?
Kinderloo Golf Tournament.
Kinderloo Golf Tournament. Look at
the Kinderloo Golf Course. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Kinderloo Golf Course, and it's being held at what was that? Throw that other thing back up there, the 3-tree thing, whatever that is. What was that? The Kinderloo Tree Oaks. Yeah, that's it.
That's the restaurant.
That's the restaurant. But if you look that up, you'll find the golf course.
Absolutely.
So that's their restaurant out there. And you know what? For the stuff that they're doing for you guys and for everybody else, we'd like to thank their restaurant. We'd like to thank their whole team of volunteers that they're going to have out helping with this tournament and everything else. So
most of the guys that are helping out with this are from the Delta Chi at BSU. His brother, Joshua Dykes' brother, is actually one of the heads of this. He's the one that set this up, and
so he's the one that distributes everything and tells everybody what to do and where to go and who's in what segment. And all that's good,
Absolutely.
So all right, for those of you that don't know tournaments, we're going to kind of give you a quick rundown on it. Now, you have, what is it, 2 days? There's a day of practice or anything like that?
They are doing, I think, Friday. From my understanding, is they're having.
It's on your back sheet right there.
Having a discount practice round.
11 o'clock. You're going to do a registration and putting green that day.
That's the first day. That's the day of the tournament. Registration and everything starts at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And you get to go out to the practice range, the driving range, and the putting green, and of course work on your game a little bit.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're already going, why are you working on your game?
My game's bad anyway.
I mean, they may need to warm up. You don't warm up. You just pull. Yeah, exactly. All right, so you go out and you're gonna then. So let's just say, for example, they have 100 guys or 100 people, men, women, and children. Right. They have 100 people come out there, and there's 4 people on a team. Right. So I'm not going to do the math because that's why that's 25 teams. That's 25 teams. Dang, you should have went to college. I got a college degree and couldn't figure it that fast. But anyway, so you have 25. You've got 25 teams, and so everybody gets up on a tee box and just one tee box, or how does that work?
It's a 4-person scramble. So what they do is they
what's a scramble?
Scramble is just the format.
That's what I mean. What is that format? A scramble.
Everybody hits from the tee, and then you pick the best ball.
Okay.
And then everybody hits from that spot.
All right, so for example, me, you, and Chris and Paul were out there. Right. You hit the longest tee shot.
Right.
All right, and then I hit just off the tee box, which is usually where I'd hit it. Chris, he's still back and drinking in the golf club cart, and Mr. Paul there, he's reading the Bible back in. He forgot to get out of the golf cart because he was still reading his Bible. So we take your shot, and we all move up to where you shoot, where you shot from,
right? And
everybody shoots from there.
Correct.
And when everybody shoots from there, then whoever gets closest to the pin, you take theirs. So let's say at that time, Mr. Paul got out of his golf cart and he decided to hit one and he got it on the green.
Okay.
And it's sitting 5 feet from the green. Everybody goes 5 feet from the green and hits from right there.
Yes.
So then I get up there and, well, let's just say Chris gets up there because it's not me. Chris gets up there and he putts it in.
Right.
So then you're talking 3. You got three strokes in that hole. Well, that should be, everybody should be way under par then, right?
They should be. But then you have people like me that play.
Well, yeah, but I hope you got some people that are playing with you. I heard your son was going.
Yeah, my son, he's setting up a different team.
Oh, okay.
So we're not on the same team this year.
Okay.
Hopefully next year we can, but not this year. I have my daughter's boyfriend. Is on our team.
Your daughter, for those that you don't know, Amelia is just the biggest sweetheart. She's fixing to graduate. I'm not going to be here for her graduation, so I so miss her hugs all the time. We were actually talking about that earlier today, about Amelia, and she's just a beautiful girl. Y'all just raised a beautiful girl.
Hey, Amelia.
What up?
Because I know you're watching.
Oh, what up? Anyway, go ahead. You were saying
he's on my team. He's one of the other players on the team, and he used to play on the Lowndes High golf team, so hopefully that's a benefit.
It's a plus, maybe.
And then one of our other team members is our ringer because apparently he's pretty decent.
You say apparently you don't know.
From what I've heard, he is on the semi-pro tour and he's trying to get on the senior tour. So
Why would I want to even play against that then?
well, I'm hoping that's the way it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Weather doesn't act up, and we get to play in it this year. So looking forward to it.
They said
And
get
it's
closer to the mic. They can barely hear you. That's what your wife just said.
My wife just said that.
Your wife just said that.
I don't want to get closer to the mic.
Yeah, you do. You want because see, I talk very loud. You talk like this right here, so you.
Well, I can't help that I talk like that.
So you got to speak up. Anyway, go ahead.
I don't want to speak up.
Yeah, you can only turn it up so much. You got to get up. Don't get up and swallow it.
You need to talk like this and get real close to the mic.
Well, why did you have to get an accent when you did it?
Because I'm from South Georgia.
He had to get an accent when he did it. But anyway, all right, keep going. I'm sorry. Your wife interrupted you this time. It wasn't me.
That's right. No, actually, I'm just happy to be a part of this tournament for the proceeds that are going to help. You know, something that I believe in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I mean, look. Let's face it. I'm a cancer survivor, and I spent many a day in the office with your wife standing over there just looking at me. So, you know, I completely I jumped at the chance to help because, you know, I'll tell you what. It's a lonely feeling when you find out you have cancer and you're riding in the car on the way back home.
Oh yeah. And I remember that
Yep.
because I came to see you in the hospital,
Yep.
and I mean, you weren't close. You were in Jacksonville,
Yep.
which is only a couple hours away, but still, hey, you're my brother, and I got to go check on you.
It's one of those things that, you know, if you can do anything for this foundation. Oh, your wife said caller. This foundation, or I was just figuring I'd tell you that because I'm going to get in trouble for not telling you that before. Or if you can do anything to help the cancer foundations, you know, I think we all should do that because you don't know. My uncle right now, I just found out yesterday, my Uncle David up in Kentucky, he's going through his second round of chemo. So they thought that he had beat it and now he's back at it. So it's one of them things you never know. You never know what's going to happen or who's going to be there. Jennifer and Amelia, if you need something, you need to say something. Go ahead and text me because he's not going to call you. Go ahead.
Well, look, you can call 252-2515, and you can be on the air with me.
Yeah, there you go. Be on the air with him. That's not going to happen, I'm sure.
Probably not.
Hold on, let's call her. Let's see. They wanted us to call, so let's do that. We ain't been on the air but for an hour, so
Is that all?
That's all. All right, here we go. We got a phone. Let's see if it rings. Okay, let's see.
Hello?
Hello, who is this?
Amelia?
Hey, Amelia, what are you doing?
We're at home.
You're at home?
I'm on the phone with him.
You're on the phone with who?
Uncle Roger.
That's right. Yeah, you're on the air right now, by the way. You said we needed to call your dad needed to call your mom, so we figured we'd just make that happen.
No, it's backed up, Mom. It's gonna be lagging. We can watch it after.
That's right. You're lagging. You're gonna be behind.
You're gonna hear everything you're saying. You're 10 seconds behind.
Stewie's not doing too good.
Okay.
Stewie's not good. That's the dog.
Stewie's the rabbit.
Oh, the rabbit.
Yeah, our rabbit is.
Rabbit named Stewie.
Yes.
Oh, that was Amelia's baby.
Yes.
Oh, okay, baby girl. Well, I'll let you get off the phone then. I thought you were just joking, so we're calling you.
No, I'm sorry.
All right, that's all right. Love you, girl.
I love you.
All right, bye.
I miss you.
I miss you too. Bye.
Bye.
Look, looks like some problems happening with Stewie. So.
Well, Stewie got taken to the vet yesterday and found out that he had an abscessed tooth. So he's just in the process of trying to get, and he's not doing well. He hasn't been eating. He lost some weight. So they're concerned about him. And that's understandable. And losing a pet is tough.
So is Stewie going to die?
All
right. Now, you know what I always say.
Nah, there ain't no telling.
What I always say about Stewie. What does he make?
Rabbit stew.
Stewie! Stewie.
Well, and it's one of those things that whenever we went and got him, they were wanting to know what his name was going to be, and I said Stu.
Stu, Rabbit Stu. See, look at there. I was right. Stewie.
Say right.
Yeah, that's it. But anyway, Chris, what you got? Well, oh, hold on. Hotch. That's what he told me to call you while he's here. So what's up? You got anything new over there?
Who?
Flip over to you.
Hold one.
Hold one, please.
There we go.
Oh, now he wants to look like he's doing something. He was on his phone again, you guys. I just want you to know that.
Not my phone's way over there.
So what's up? Anything else going on? I see you're into the studio thing over there.
I was just looking to see what was going on.
Yep. So we got no messages, nothing else. You got anything else? It's the sports world. He has nothing else. Look at that face. I want everybody to see that face.
I know that look.
Yeah, it's you really asking that question?
You want me
Why
to
do I surround myself with people that don't know anything about sports? Mr. Paul. Oh, wait. Mr. Paul, you went on a retreat this past week, didn't you? This past weekend.
Yes, I did.
Where'd you go?
Camp Tiger.
So Mr. Paul went out to Camp Tiger for 3 days?
Mm-hmm.
3 days, 4 nights, 4 nights,
3 nights.
3 nights, and he came home. He left on Thursday, came back on Sunday night.
Right.
So what'd you do at Tiger? Come over here a minute. Come over here. Come here just a minute.
Was it the walk?
Yeah, it was a walk.
The walk to Emmaus.
Walk
Yeah.
to Emmaus, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, my daughter Amelia went on the.
Come on over here. Come on, just stand right here.
Stand here in the
Yeah,
middle.
just stand right in the middle. Look at that. I love it.
Go ahead.
She went on the chrysalis, which
Yes.
is the teenager.
Teenager version of it, yes.
I know exactly.
Okay, so now just speak up a little bit because you're a little far back. So what did you do?
Well, it's a 3-day weekend that it's just a short course in Christianity.
And okay, so you just because I think you referred to it when we were talking about it before was you sat and they kind of listened to people talk, and then you got in your groups, and then you kind of talked about what you heard and what your belief was in that situation.
We listen to 15 talks, and we get together in a group around a table, and we discuss what it is we heard from that talk.
Okay, so what does the walk to Emmaus mean?
It's just, it reflects that experience in the scripture where it talks about the 2 disciples were walking along after Jesus had died, and Jesus kind of joined to them, but they didn't recognize him as Jesus. So when they realized later, when it was open to them that it was Jesus, they said, "Didn't our hearts burn within us?"
Okay.
As we talked to him, they didn't recognize him at that time, but when he got to where they were going, or we got to where the disciples were going, they broke bread and he blessed it, and that's when they recognized
That's when everybody
him.
realized who he was.
That's right.
You know, you learn something new every day. I'm proud that you got to go because you wanted to do that, and I hear that's something that you do every year. Or you try to do every year,
Every few years I get a chance.
and you know what? So I'm proud that you get to do that. Now, the 3 of us are also we do what we call the boat to Emmaus. No, I'm just kidding. But we're all on a fishing team together. It's Team No Agenda. It is, as you'll see on the screen here, it is right there. You Team No Agenda. We actually, our first tournament's coming out this April the 7th. We won't be at that, but we've got there. You see our fishing teams right there. We've got 2 more people that aren't on there that we have to add. So I think that all 3 of us are doing the Jacksonville tournament, though, right?
Right.
We're doing the Greater Kingfish tournament there in Jacksonville. So go to our website if you want to sponsor us on the fishing tournament or anything like that. Feel free to give us a call. You can see some of the sponsors that are already for some of the tournaments that we're doing. Those are our sponsors. You can go to our website. You can go to Armchair Sports and you can donate there, or you can go to Team No Agenda and you can donate there. All right. So, Chris, if you've got nothing else, now I've got your dad on his knees. What do you want to say to him? Go ahead, Chris. Come on. Look, Chris can't even speak. Look at him over there. All right, anyway. You got anything else? You got anything else?
No.
You got anything else there, Christopher?
No.
it took you 2 minutes to figure out if you had anything else to say? No.
You have to think about it.
That's what they call dead air. All right, guys, we'll see you back again here next week. At this time, we'll circle back to it.